We hurriedly began cleaning up. What should I do with this score?
ああ、持ってていいよ。クリスさん以外の人と練習することも今は特に考えてないし、その時にはまた写譜するから。
Is transcribing really such a trivial task? I idly wondered, thinking back on when I had to transcribe several famous pieces in class once.
慣れてるから。それに写譜ってそんなに嫌いじゃないし。
She said casually, even producing a smile in apparent delight. I see. I was genuinely impressed by that, and I felt a bit ashamed at my own slacking. I had yet to decide on a partner for my compulsory graduation recital, and hadn't even prepared a score for said undecided person. Face to face with someone like Fall, who put earnest effort into everything, my flaws were blatantly exposed. You're such a hard worker.
違いますよ。
Fall smiled heavily, then lifted up her bag, indicating she had finished packing up. At the sight, I quickly shoved the score into my bag, and we both went outside. Glancing out the window, I noticed the rain was pretty calm. Are you going home now, Fall?
ごめんなさい。一緒に帰りたいんだけど、今日はちょっと無理かな。
I see. What a pity. Actually, we weren't close enough for me to feel that way. I'm thinking what a pity. Yeah. In fact, her saying that she would have liked to walk home with me seemed dubious in itself. I'm going home now.
でもその前に一つ聞きたいんだけど。
What is it?
今日はどうだった？
Thoughts?
私の歌とかそういうの。
Well, I think I told you before, but I thought it was great.
そう？ありがとう。クリスさんのフォルテールもやっぱりよかった。
I see, thanks. Before I knew it, my initial discomfort at the thought of performing with a stranger had all but dissipated. There was no doubt all thanks to her constantly putting me at ease. Although we had only just spent a short while together, I doubted there were many people who wouldn't come to admire a girl so diligent about everything she did. Being no exception to that, I naturally returned her smile and asked her about what to do next. So, what shall we do from now on?
パートナーに決めるにはまだまだ時間が欲しいよね。
No? Chris? What are you talking about?
それならさ、火曜日と木曜日は私いつもここにいるから時間があったらまた練習しない？
I can't guarantee anything, though.
もちろんそれでいいよ。
Okay, so should I meet you at the same time as today for our next meeting?
ええ。場所もここにしておくから。もし先に誰かがこの部屋を使ってたら一個ずつずれていくようにするから小窓から覗いてみて。
I'll do that. I thought I'd take some time to decide what to do from now on. Taking the time to expand my alternatives was important right now. What will you do now?
私は第一校舎に用事があるけど。
Then I'll see you off at the front door. As she stood in front of the building, Fall glanced upward at the sky.
今日は傘持ってきてないけど。
The rain's gotten pretty light, so we should be fine.
そう。それじゃあまたね。
Right. Yeah, see ya. After spending a minute staring at Fall's retreating figure as she rhythmically walked into the distance, I set out for the City of Rain. Not a bad practice session, except my skills were extremely lacking on her piece. Ouch, my knees. Like I mentioned to Fall, the rain was weak. My uniform, which would normally get drenched and coil around my skin, didn't even feel all that unpleasant now. Perhaps because of that, I didn't feel inclined to increase my pace, and leisurely walked home amidst the rain. Wednesday. Mercoledì. Well then, what shall I do now? What is this? Cafeteria? No. No. I'm gonna go practice. I decided not to meet anyone today and simply to practice on my own, so that when I did meet someone I could put on an even better performance. That was sort of my reasoning. I should decide for... I've read this already. Well, I'm gonna try playing a piece from start to finish. Yeah, Fall's piece. I'm gonna try practicing that. Don't worry, I'll cut it out. Because I am so good. I did a lot worse, so I'm gonna try that again. I am failing this piece. Oh, can I go down Forney's path with an easy song? Barely made it over 7,000. But that's a good one to end on, I guess. Not getting any better at that tough spot. Let's call it a day. Time to go home. It was getting late. After cleaning up the practice room, I went home. Whew. Okay, and now it's Thursday, right? Giovedì. Thursday. Well then, what shall I do now? Yeah, far practice room. The far end of the hallway. I headed toward the practice room where Fall was probably already waiting for me. Music wasn't so superficial as to be able to judge on the level of music capability between two people after a single performance. I needed more information before I could decide whether or not to ask her to be my partner, so I thought I would keep playing with her for a while. I did genuinely enjoy our previous ensemble, so I was looking forward to doing it again. Vibrations were transmitted into the room, inciting Fall, who had managed to pick up on them, to casually wave at me through the small window.
どうぞ。
Stepping into the warm room, I was immediately greeted by Fall's delightful smile.
来てくれたのね。
Well, yeah, I thought I should at least take a few iterations before we can gauge our compatibility.
そうだね。でも来てくれて嬉しいな。
Oh, just kicked my microphone. I see. Her frankness flustered me a bit. I had a tendency to resign myself to the fact that it was simply not in my nature to make friends. Asino, Torta, the list came to an abrupt halt there. I didn't want to interpret her obvious goodwill in my favor. Even so, I couldn't deny that there was some concrete musical compatibility between us.
それじゃあ早速練習する？
Sure, that's what I came here for.
それでね、時間も少なくなってるし、とりあえず数をこなさなくちゃいけないと思うんだけど。
You mean focusing on improving our synchronization?
私だけじゃなくて他の人と合わせる場合もそうした方がいい時期になってきてると思うよ。
I suppose you're right.
細かいところを詰めるためにも合わせてみてどんどん意見を出していくのが一番いいかな。
I just noticed the background. That is her song, Fall's song. I got it. Then let's give it a go. I produced the score I had received from her earlier and put it on the music stand. Fall had already done her vocal exercises, so she was probably just waiting for me to finish preparing. In a leisurely manner, she watched me as I set up my Fortelle. We performed some last-minute tuning, with her matching the voice to the sounds of my Fortelle. As we often did, we nodded to each other before beginning our performance. Oh no. Now she's gonna expect better of me. Oh, this isn't good. I did terribly. But I don't know how, because I've been doing the exact same thing. Yes, I'm gonna try again. Didn't do as badly. I want to improve. I'm gonna do it one last time. Yes! But I didn't get 4 stars, so that stinks. Oh, that was good. Same. After finishing the song, she took a deep breath and I exhaled again.
お疲れ様。
Yeah, good work.
どう？曲には慣れた？
Somewhat. It's freaking hard. The fact that she asked me the question probably meant it still contained many flaws, and honestly I knew that myself as well. I had my hands full just parsing the score so many times my fingers were unable to catch up.
それならよかった。だいぶいい感じになってきたよ。
Thanks, but I know it's not completely true.
そっか。でもさ、そのあたりは慣れでなんとでもなるか。
Anything else in particular?
そうね。いくつかあるけど。
Sure. She noted a number of things that had caught her ear. She pointed everything out with astonishing precision. After only 1 or 2 performances, she seemed to have managed to pinpoint my defects with perfect accuracy. And almost all of them were things Miss Cordell had told me about as well. I hadn't fixed those points yet, but I'd been trying my best to keep them in mind whenever I performed. I wondered how much time had passed since then. Before I knew it, I had started listening to Fowl in earnest. This girl, who spoke about music in such a serious and conscientious manner, may have influenced me considerably.
と、そんなところかな。
Got it. Thanks.
ごめんね。いきなりこんなこと言っちゃって。
Nah, it's far more helpful to be told this up front. It'll be easier for me to fix it that way.
よかった。じゃあ、もう一度合わせてみる？
Sure, let's do it. I'm scared for final performance. I'm gonna have to get 5 stars. And so far my best is 3? Jeez. We finished practice and cleaned up the space. It should be getting dark out soon.
今日はお疲れ様でした。
Yeah, same to you. I held my bag over my shoulder and went outside with her.
今日は何もないから一緒に帰ろうか。
Huh?
って言ってもこの前の場所まで一緒に歩くだけなんだけどね。
Well, I had no reason to refuse, really. I don't mind.
じゃあ行きましょう。
She began walking at a leisurely pace, and I followed in her tracks. Fall didn't bring an umbrella today. The rain wasn't particularly strong, and we were both used to living in this town, so all things considered, it was actually pleasant outside. However, I felt a bit guilty towards Ari for having a girl so close to me, so I was kinda uncomfortable with it regardless. Shall we keep meeting at that place on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Still, I couldn't bring myself up to display those emotions, so I simply kept up the casual conversation. All the while realizing that I was contradicting myself, I found these supposedly meaningless conversations to be a pleasant pastime indeed.
ごめんね。あんまり練習できなくて。
I don't mind, but may I ask the reason why?
バイトしてるから。
You have a part-time job. What?
学院のある日は火曜と木曜以外はお昼休みとその後少し練習したらすぐに出ないといけないの。日曜は休みだけど土曜日も午後から一日お仕事かな。
Huh? She talked about it quite nonchalantly, but it really wasn't such a trivial matter. What about practice?
してるじゃない、一緒に。
Besides that?
だから朝のレッスンが終わってからお昼休みまで。土曜日もお昼までは練習できるし、日曜日は一日中自由だから。
I see.
どうしたの？
Nothing. I'm just amazed by your diligence.
まあね。
Against my expectations.